By the time we start the session, I would like to take everyone's attention on something very positive that CREDAI MCHR has involved itself in: Mobile Dispensary Van Seva. Please have a look at a small video we've prepared.
नमस्कार, मैं शांतिलाल मित्रा। कोरोना ने पूरे भारतवर्ष में हाहाकार मचा दिया। पूरे देश में लॉकडाउन शुरू हुआ। मुंबई सिटी सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावित हो चुकी है। मुंबई में काफी सारे एरिया में रेड अलर्ट डिक्लेयर किया है। कर्फ्यू शुरू। यह परिस्थिति और भी ज्यादा गंभीर होने की संभावनाएं दिखाई दी। इस परिस्थिति में सर्वसामान्य व्यक्ति को घर से बाहर जाते भी आ रहा। कुछ अपनी थोड़ी बहुत बीमारी होगी तो वो किसी को पता भी नहीं। इसलिए भारतीय जैन संगठन ने पूना में मोबाइल डिस्पेंसरी वैन सेवा शुरू की। ये सेवा के माध्यम से हमने 74 व्हीकल्स डिस्पेंसरीज में कन्वर्ट करके गली गली में भेज के लोगों की जांच की। उसमें से 99% लोगों को ऑर्डिनरी खांसी बीमारी थी, उनको दवाई देके आधार देके डॉक्टर लोगों ने घर पे भेज दिया। उसमें से 1% लोग वो हाई रिस्क प्रोफाइल थे, उनको हमने कॉर्पोरेशन में हाई रिस्क पेशेंट करके भेज दिया। हमारे म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर ने उनमें से कई लोगों को कोरोना पॉजिटिव डिक्लेयर भी किया। इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि ये मोबाइल डिस्पेंसरी सेवा के माध्यम से आप लोगों को दिलासा दे रहे हो, आप लोगों की मदद कर रहे हो और उनको तसल्ली दे रहे हो कि आपको कोरोना नहीं है, डरो मत। और दूसरी बात, वहां से 1% सस्पेक्टेड लोगों को निकालकर हम कॉर्पोरेशन को सुपुर्द करते हैं। ये अर्ली डिटेक्शन होने की वजह से वो लोगों की जान बच सकती है। और दूसरी बात, ये लोग अगर 4-8 दिन भी अपने वार्ड में घूमे तो पूरे वार्ड और सिटी में कोरोना का ज्यादा संसर्ग हो सकता है। इसलिए मोबाइल डिस्पेंसरी वैन सेवा ये पूना में बहुत अच्छे तरीके से शुरू हुई। भारतीय जैन संगठन, देश अपनाइए वल्लभ भाई बंसाली और क्रेडाई एमसीएचआर, इन्होंने मुंबई में अभी डिसीजन लिया है आज अक्षय तृतीया के मुहूर्त पर कि हम मुंबई सिटी में मोबाइल डिस्पेंसरी वैन की सेवा शुरू करेंगे और उसके माध्यम से लाखों लोगों तक पहुंचने की कोशिश करेंगे। महाराष्ट्र शासन और मुंबई कॉर्पोरेशन इसलिए हमें सहयोग कर रहा है। तो चलिए, आज अक्षय तृतीया के दिन डीजेस, देश अपनाइए वल्लभ बंसाली जी और क्रेडाई एमसीएचआई सब मिलकर, हम एक साथ में मिलकर कोरोना को हटाने के लिए आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। हम भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि हम सब मिलकर इसमें कामयाब हुए और हमारे मुंबई सिटी को कोरोना से हटाने की कोशिश करें। इतना ही इस वक्त पर मैं कहना चाहता हूँ। आप सबका इसमें सहयोग चाहता हूँ। नमस्कार।
I am Samyak Shah, one of the directors at Marathon Realty. And today, I want to introduce all of you all to our 25th MCHI CREDAI webinar session. We've all had a very long lockdown period, and we've had fortunate that MCHI CREDAI has held many sales-related webinars. It started with a gel, tell, and sell session with Anarock. After that, we've had many channel partner sessions of different divisions of MCHI CREDAI as well. And today, we're going to talk about a different topic in sales, which is using data analytics to improve your sales. I have been in the business for almost 10 years now. And what I have realized is whenever it comes to trying to find information of other projects, it's always been a very tough job, you know. Finding data is very, very difficult. You have to depend on channel partners. You have to depend on different sources, and you're still not sure whether the data that you're getting in terms of the pricing, in terms of what configurations are selling, and other details are accurate or not. and this has historically been an issue for our industry. Uh, but with the technology advancements and a few players in the industry, we're fortunate to have these players give us much better platforms which link to the registration data, which is like your index to data, and the RERA data to give you a complete picture about the supply, pricing, configurations that are selling, and many more details, all available on a website. So this is something that we all should take benefit of, because what I have realized is that it gives you many new insights that you would otherwise not be aware of. One such platform is CRE Matrix. I had started using CRE Matrix commercial platform, which is commercial transaction details and the offerings that they provide about a few years back. And very recently, I've been able to use their residential platform as well. And post using that, what I've realized is that there are many things about the micro markets that I was operating in, which I otherwise was not aware from the informal sources of information from, let's say, the sales team or the channel partners, etc., which I found on this platform. So just to give a few examples, many launches are happening in most of our micro markets that we are operating in, and you always want to try and know from the channel partner or their sales team how many bookings have happened, which units have sold, at what rate they have sold. But since using this platform, what has happened is we have been able to get accurate data on exactly how many units have been sold, at what rate they have been sold, and many other details. Along with that, a unique feature of this platform is that in any micro market, since the base they're using is the registration data and the index to data, you get specific locations from where the customer has bought. So for example, in a project of, let's say, Marathon XZone in Panvel, using the address that is given in the registration data, they are able to pull that, 20 of these clients have come from Panvel, 15 of those clients have come from Vashi. And such data is usually available for your project, but to get it for the entire micro market, which includes your project and others, really helps you optimize your marketing costs. If I realize that in a micro market like Panvel, not too many people are coming from, Andheri, then there is no point really spending marketing cost over there or doing any advertisements there. Whereas when I find out that a few projects are selling in a micro market where I'm not getting clients from, you can start focusing on that as well. So essentially, what I want to tell you is that this platform helps you sell smarter. It helps you optimize your cost, and it's something that all of us should take benefit of. Now I would like to introduce Abhishek Kiran Gupta. Abhishek is one of the founders at CRE Matrix. He has been in the industry for almost more than 2 decades, working at renowned firms such as JLL, such as Bank of America. And he's founded this company with this sole purpose of making real estate data more authentic and giving great analysis to developer partners. Just the format, a bit on the format. So we will go through a presentation. He will give us a live demo of his platform, and post that we will take any questions and answers that you might have. Over to you, Abhishek. Abhishek, you're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. So Samyak, thank you so much for the humbling introduction, and good morning to everybody for taking time out to listen to us, and a very, very big thank you to CREDAI and MCHI. So let's start. What is CRE Matrix? As Samyak mentioned, the idea is to leverage as much intelligence that is available in the sector and distribute that to all our clients so that they can benefit from this data and analytics. We aim to help developers build better. We also have clients who are brokers to broke better, banks to lend better, investors to invest better, and also occupiers so that they can deal better. All right, it's a deep analytics platform. It is completely cloud-based, which means you just need a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection and you're on. As I mentioned earlier, we aim to help developers understand their markets better, their competitors better, and the most important, their customers and consumers better. These are some of the questions we try and help answer. Where are your housing buyers coming from? Exactly the example that Samir gave. If you're a developer in Panvel and you know that 20% of your buyers come from Vashi or Kharghar or Khopoli, maybe you should put your advertising spend and call your channel partners from there. And that will just make your effective and more better ROI. Second, what apartment types sell best in a micro location? Is it 1 bedroom or 2 or 3? What is your competitor selling? At what price is he selling? And how fast is he selling? What we mean by this is the pace at which, or the quarterly velocity at which he's selling the apartments. And not only that, but also, is it 1 bedroom, 2, 1.5, and 3? And even the sizes. What is the typical size of that 1 bedroom which is selling faster than the other?
Abhishek, very sorry, but we are not able to see the PPT. The PPT is not on the screen.
Abhishek, do you want to just close it and open it again? Maybe.
Yeah, just check, man.
Apologies,
just let me know.
Panelists, just give us a minute.
Is it visible now?
Yes.
I am very, very sorry.
No problem.
So I'm going to just repeat it again.
Yeah.
For everybody's benefit. So yes, we are a deep analytics platform in real estate. It's a completely cloud-based tool, which is that you only need a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection to see the analytics on your laptop whenever you wish like. We aim to help developers understand their markets better, their competition better, and most importantly, their customers. These are some of the questions we help answer. The first, where are your housing buyers coming from? So as Samyak mentioned earlier, if you have a project in Panvel and you know through our platform that 20% of those come from a Vashi or a Khopoli or a Kharghar, you can spend your advertising in that zone, whether it's through social media, whether it's through hoardings, or whether it's through print, whether it's through channel partners. It just makes your advertising more effective and reduces your cost. Second, we also help understand what apartment type sells the best in a micro location. Is it a 1 bedroom or a 1.5 or a 2 or a 2.5 or a 3? Then what is your competitor selling the most and at what price and how fast? What I mean by how fast is what is the quarterly sales and space at which he's selling? And not only that, but also is he selling 1 bedroom? Is 1 bedroom selling faster than 2? Is 2 selling faster than 3? And so on and so forth. Lastly, what is the unsold inventory in the market today? So now if you have an understanding that there's a lot of launches and there's a lot of unsold inventory in a particular market, maybe you should not launch there in a hurry, or maybe you should launch different than what is already existing there. Some more questions on the commercial front, because we cover commercial as well. Who's leasing around my office building? What is the rent that he is paying? What is my competition's tenants? Maybe I can poach them into my building. When is the lease expiring? What is the total leasing volume in any city? I've just written Calcutta for now. Which sectors are hot? What I mean by that is it IT? Is it BFSI? Is it pharma? Is it co-working? And what should be the floor plate of my new office complex? I'm making a new building in Ghatkopar. I should have a visibility on what typically sells or leases in Ghatkopar. Maybe it's less than 5,000 square feet. So I should make my floor plate at around 5,000 and not 50,000. The geographic coverage of CRE matrix, the top metro cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai, started doing Ahmedabad and Calcutta also now. The assets we cover are pretty much all, which is commercial offices, retail malls, housing, of course, high streets, warehousing, and we also cover a perspective on loans. Let me explain. All loans written by banks or NBFCs to any of our developer friends is mandated to be submitted on the MCA or the ROC. We have a system to be able to buy all of them, analyze all of them, and make sense or give analytics back to our developer friends in terms of who's taken what loan against which project, what is the moratorium, what is the interest rate, etc., etc. In terms of total commercial coverage, we believe the grade A occupied stock, again, I'm stressing on the word occupied, not the unoccupied space. Occupied stock is about 600 million square feet across the metro cities. We cover 90% of the entire space. So we've got a 90% coverage. For residential, we're currently only doing Bombay and Pune. We start Bangalore very soon. And there we have downloaded about 30 lakh registered transactions, or if I can choose registered leases, whether leases or sales, and we cover 100%, thing in Bombay and Pune that we have missed. Now I'm going to show you the dashboard. Allow me to just toggle my screen. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to see now for the next 20 minutes is going to be the live dashboard of CRE Matrix. We're going to do housing for the first 15 minutes, and then we can look at commercial real estate in the last 5 minutes, and then we can open up to a Q&A. What I've done over here is I've selected in our dashboard Chembur as an example to show everybody. The very first chart that you see is the actual registration that happens in Chembur on a yearly basis. We have collated data since the year 2015. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This caters to only the RERA registered projects. This only includes the primary market. This doesn't include the secondary market, although we have the data, but this chart particularly includes or talks about the primary market. The second chart is your average sales. So your blue dots are your sales over the years, and your red line is your average or a median across these years. You can see Chembur is around 21,000 plus or minus percent depending on the project. I'm going to take you to the next on. I'm just going to toggle to Lodha Amara right now because it's a tall building. This chart tells you, this chart is for Lodha Amara, which is in Thane. It tells you, splits Lodha Amara into 5 zones on floors. So the red is ground floor to the 6th floor, your green is 7th to the 13th, your yellow is 14th to the 20th, and so on and so forth. It clearly tells you those bands in terms of pricing changes by floor. So how is the pricing of that project Lodha Amara changing by floors? And if I can just request everybody to look at 16, 17, and 18, you can see that the price bands or the colors are fairly distinct. Whereas in 18 and 19 and part of 20, you see that it's all dispersed, which clearly indicates that the developers started giving discounts or waivers on the floor rise. It became a little smudged. The next chart tells you where are your buyers coming from. This is one of my favorite charts. It tells you everybody who purchased those 3,000 apartments in Lodha Amara, where did they come from? So you can see it's significantly Thane, Bombay, you can see Nasik, Raigad, Pune. And now let's deep dive into within Mumbai and Thane, where did these guys come from? So I'm going to make this bigger, and there you go. It says Thane West, Thane Majiwada, JK Gram, Yeur Hills, Mulund West, Wagle Estate, Bhandup West, Andheri East, interestingly, Kalyan, Mulund East, Powai, Dombivli, etc. This can be done for any project in Mumbai and Pune. The next chart helps you understand your buyer age profile. I particularly feel this can be very, very useful because if your buyer age profile is young, they are more available or happy to be, they'll be listening to you on social media more than a advertisement hoarding on the highways. So you can accordingly tell your channel partners or your social media partners to accordingly. The next one, I'm going to take you back to Mumbai City and give you a perspective on how those span. Just give me a minute. What I've done is I've removed Chembur now, Lodha Amara, and I've gone to Mumbai City as a whole. Also exhibiting an example showing you that on the left-hand side panel, you can make any filters you want. You can filter it by a city. You can filter it by a micro market like Chembur. You can filter it by a project like Lodha Amara. You can filter it whichever way you want. Let me make this chart bigger. We're going to spend about 30 seconds on this chart. The first thing, requesting everybody to look at the x-axis, which is the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. This tells you what amount or quantum of inventory sells in Mumbai City. And this is Mumbai City. This is your Churchgate to Dahisar, VT to Mulund, the greater Mumbai. So you can see it's approximately 5,000 odd crores every quarter, which means about 20,000 crores a year. So whoever said that the market was bad is a myth. Last year, we sold 20,000 crores of inventory, housing inventory. What it also tells you is splits Mumbai City into its 5 different colors and tells you what price band sells in Mumbai the most. So your blue is your less than 50 lakhs, your red is 50 to 1 CR, your purple is 1 to 2 CR, gray is 2 to 3, and so on and so forth. So you can see the sweet spot in Mumbai City is pretty much between red and gray. Yes, we do have a few oranges, but if you are launching something between 50 lakhs to 2 CR, you will most likely rock the market. Needless to say, all these charts can again be made at a Chembur level or an individual project level as well, so that you know what price band sells in Chembur compared to Mumbai as a whole. Going forward, what you saw till now are registration charts, charts that came from actual registration transactions. What you're going to see now onwards is going to be RERA charts, charts being made by RERA, data that you all our developer friends have keyed in on the RERA website. So the very first chart tells you what's the supply that's going to come in Mumbai City over the next 8 years. So you can see it's approximately 3 lakh units. These are, so whenever our developer friend registers a project in RERA, he is mandated to write the completion date. This is how that chart is coming from. The second chart is how much of that has been sold or unsold, or let me rephrase, how much of that has been launched and booked. So you can see there's a clear affinity towards the near ready projects in the current market scenario, right? But you have a clear view on how the projects slated to be completed in the future are being sold. The next chart tells you the configuration. So this tells you how many 2 beds, which is in red, how many 1 beds, which is in blue, how many 3 beds, which is in gray, and studios, which is in orange, have launched and sold in Mumbai City. Also, if you have covered the 2, the 1, the 3, and the studio, you've covered more than 90% of Mumbai City. The outer circle is launch, the inner circle is booked. This one simply splits Mumbai into its constituents. So it splits it into Chembur, Mulund, Kandivali, Bhandup, etc. and tells you for each micro market, how many 1 beds, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3, right? So for each market now you have the same what you saw for Mumbai City, now you have it for individual micro markets. Then we have launches, that's fairly straightforward, launches per quarter. Then we have sales per quarter, that's fairly straightforward. Now this one is again my favorite chart. I would request everybody to look at the top right hand side, top 15 micro market share. Let me explain. Mumbai City has about 105 pin codes, each pin code being an Andheri West or an Andheri East or a Chembur or a Govandi or a Churchgate and an Nariman Point. Out of those 105 pin codes, 15 pin codes, I'm going to repeat that again, 15 pin codes represent 60% of all launches. So the action is in these 15, and who are they? They are the Chembur and the Mullund and the Kandivali and the Bhandup and the Andheri and the Goregaon, as you can see in front of you. That's where your developer, channel partner, sales action is. The red dot over there also tells you the sales percentage in all of these different micro markets. So you can see, case in point, Chembur is about 55% sold or booked. Jogeshwari, on the other hand, is only 34%. So Jogeshwari seems to be a tougher market compared to Chembur. The next one tells you the different areas. I was mentioning this earlier. Again, to repeat, each of these charts can be made at a Chembur level or a project level. So you can see at a Mumbai level, over the years, the apartments seem to be shrinking in size purely to make them affordable. So the studios have slightly shrunk. The one bedrooms, which used to be around 409 as an average in 2018, have now shrunk to about 393 as an average in terms of size per one bedroom. Similarly, the two bedrooms have shrunk a little, three bedrooms have shrunk a little, and so have the four bedrooms. Then we have the fastest selling micro markets. What this means is, let me explain with one example. Dahisar East, the blue bar, the blue color, is your unsold inventory in Dahisar East, which is approximately 4,000 units. The red section is what you've sold collectively in Dahisar East in the last 9 quarters average, which is about 200. So if you divide the two, it will take you 19 quarters for our developer friends to finish all unsold inventory in Dahisar East. So it compares all micro markets in Mumbai vis-a-vis each other and shows you the strength of that micro market. Just for argument's sake, I'm going to just take an example of Chembur again to show everybody the same charts, how they look for Chembur. Just give it a few seconds.
Abhishek,
there you go. So
there's just one comment to hold back because I think the presentation slides are moving a little ahead, it seems. But anyway, carry on.
Oh, you mean there is a delay? There's a delay between what I say and what you see.
Probably.
Okay, I'm going to try and go do this a little slowly. Yeah, again, apologies. We are a little dependent on technology, but thanks for the feedback. The chart I showed earlier of Mumbai city, now you can see this for Chembur, and you can see what price band sells in Chembur the most. So if you remember, the gray color was pretty dominant in Mumbai city, which is a 2 to 3 CR. Now you have significantly red and purple for the micro market Chembur. Of course, you do have a few oranges as well. Similarly, if you look at the age profile of our buyers in Chembur, it's a little different than Mumbai. It seems Chembur is a little older compared to overall Mumbai. That's interesting, actually. Mumbai as a whole was a little younger compared to Chembur. So now you know how it can be different. And there you go. Where are the buyers from Chembur coming from? They're coming from Chembur, of course. They're coming from Tilak Nagar, Trombay, Antop Hill, Govandi, Sion Chunabhatti, Ghatkopar East, Mulund West, etc., etc., etc. And I'm sure we all know that the Eastern Mumbai tends to, flock around Eastern Mumbai, and the Westerners prefer to be in West. But we've seen that movement as well. We've seen that movement. A very case in point would be there's a small little Bandra West over here who's also buying in Chembur, and vice versa. Happy to show you now the real data that is sitting behind this. I've just taken an example of Lodha Amara again. I'm going to stay on this slide for about a minute so that that the delay can be taken care of. The very first column over here is the actual registration date. So you can see it's January 2020. We have the agreement type, which is all sale deeds because it's a new project. Had it been a project which is about a 2-year-old or a year old, you would also see leave-in license. Then we have the price at which it has been registered at individual apartments. we have the area of the apartment, we have the consideration value, the actual value which it was sold at, the Reckner value, the stamp duty the buyer paid, the floor number, the unit number. What I'm trying to show over here is you have to put your finger on any building in Mumbai city and we'll get you from the ground floor to the top floor, unit number, floor number, price at which it was purchased or leased, date of registration, price of the apartment, and the Reckner value. Just to give you another example, I'm going to click on a ready project, which is Kanakya Paris. Now this screen is showing you Kanakya Paris. The previous one was Lodha Amara. The reason I do that is there we can see leave-in license as well. So again, date of registration, whether it's a sale deed or leave-in license, price at which it was purchased or leased, area of the apartment, consideration value. Again, in terms of rentals, you can see it's about 1,35,000, ₹1,00,000, 96,000, or 3.2 crores, 3.4 crores, the Reckner value, the stamp duty paid, the floor number, and the unit number. So with this, I would like to conclude the residential bit, and I would like to now take my attention to commercial, which is offices, malls, and warehouses. As I mentioned earlier, across India, we cover all the metro cities, and the total occupied space is about 600 million square feet. We've covered about 540 million square feet. I've just taken one example of one transaction in BKC to give you a perspective. We would have information as in the sign date, when was the document or the lease registration signed, the lease commencement date, when did the lease commence, the fee commencement date, the licensee lock-in, the tenant's lock-in, the licensor's lock-in, which is the landlord's lock-in. You have the lease expiry date, when does the lease expire? You have the rent-free period. You have the lock-in period. How long is the licensee locked in, which is about 3 years? How long is the licensor locked in, the landlord, which is about pretty much the entire term, 5 years, the entire lease term. The floor number, which is here, if you can just follow my mouse, the chargeable area, the carpet area, the rent paid, rent obviously calculated in per square foot, the entire term details, which is your 2020 to 21, 2021 to 22, up to 2025. You've got the security deposit, you've got car park, if at all he's paying for car parks, and a small little catchment analysis to compare your property with the neighboring properties and how are they faring in terms of rentals or occupancy, vacancy, etc. I'll make this smaller and give you a larger view on our database. It covers everything from building name to micro market to landlord name, tenant name, the signatories at the landlord side, tenant side, the rentals, the chargeable area, carpet area, the efficiency of that particular asset, not only that particular unit, but also the entire building and the micro market. And most importantly, you will have access 24/7, 365 days, if you're a client of ours, to view any agreement of your choice. I'm going to open one in front of you. These agreements are officially purchased from the IGR or the sub-registrar's office, and we allow access, as I said, all the time to our clients to view. We don't allow downloads, but yes, you can view these agreements. This is a true copy of an agreement in a property in BKC. I'm going to spend maybe spend a 30 minutes or 30 seconds over here so that you know the delay, if any, can be adjusted. So there you go. Once again, any building, office or mall or high street or warehouse in Mumbai or Pune or Delhi or Bangalore or any other city can be obtained if it's not already on our website. We cover about 90%. The remaining 10% is either truly empty, or in case we missed it, we will get that for you in 48 hours. The sections in yellow are just so that our clients can spend less time in finding what they need to. The critical sections are highlighted in yellow. Similar to the residential charts, we also have 2 dozen commercial charts which tell you How is the leasing pattern, again at a Bombay level or a BKC level or an Andheri level. It also tells you which sector is leasing the most. Is it IT, pharma, BFSI, co-working? It also tells you how overall leasing has happened in a particular city. So we know that 2018 and 19 were amazing in terms of the golden ages of commercial leasing. Yes, 2020 will be a tough year, and we have published a report on that. We will request our MCHI friends to maybe distribute that to everybody in terms of our view on 2020 as far as commercial real estate is concerned, or even housing is concerned. So yes, so that's I would like to stop now. Delighted to take questions. Samyag, please, just one last thing on my presentation before I hand it over to Samyag. Just sharing two case studies. We have Dexterous, who's a co-working operator in Mumbai City. He opened a new space at Lower Parel, and using our platform was able to save 15 rupees on a 20,000 square feet lease per month per square foot in terms of negotiating with the landlord. So you can imagine, you can do the math and imagine the amount of savings he was able to do for his 5-year or a 6-year lease that he signed. The second one is our client Kanakya, whom we helped identify the potential buyers in a defined zone, let's say between a Sion and a Chembur, exactly those who are living on rent and can be potential buyers for his upcoming project. Lastly, these are some of our clients who've been with us for more than a couple of years. At this slide, Samyag, I'm delighted to hand it back to you and address questions from all our attendees.
Thanks a lot, Abhishek. Just a request to all panelists, please post your questions in the Q&A tab, because otherwise it gets very difficult to check the chat and the Q&A. So there are a few questions which have come in. So Nitin Joysar, his question is, at what stage of a project would it be most effective? If you have any thoughts.
So Nitin, yes, Nitin, we can come in and help you at the land stage. So if you have purchased land in Dahisar and you want to know, what do I build there? Should I mean, outside the DCR, if you're not allowed to build anything outside the DCR, we can't. But within the DCR, should you make a residential tower? Should you make a mall? Should you make a mixed use project? I personally feel mixed use is going to be fantastic and a great opportunity for developers to go forward. So we can come in at that stage all the way till you sell your last apartment.
Yeah, I completely agree. And so just the way Abhishek said, I don't think there is any specific stage. I think it can help at the land stage. It can help at the... I have realized is it also helps when, let's say you have the last few inventories left. You always have those projects where few inventories are left, maybe they're slow moving. Now, how exactly do you price them? So what I realized in one of my projects is, we had both 1 and 2 BHKs. However, the supply of 1 BHK wasn't as high. That's what the platform told me. In that case, then it probably made sense to, keep the same price on the 1 BHK and think of schemes for the 2 BHK, which has a lot of supply. So I think across all stages, it can be very beneficial.
And Samir, on the point that you made earlier when you started, and on the same Kanakya example, we can help you. You can tell me that in Chembur, tell me everybody who's living on rent, paying rent above 2 lakh rupees or 1.5 lakh rupees. We exactly identify those because those could be your exact potential buyers for your apartment or for your project next door or in that same location. So that just gives you what I call is what Trump calls target bombing compared to carpet bombing.
Right. So the platform can be used for lead generation also. And so we all know how high our marketing costs are right now. So, I mean, at a fraction of a cost, if you get sort of targeted leads, I'm sure that's going to be very beneficial. Another question is from Manikam Subramaniam. Okay, so he's asking, do you check the time frame between customer inquiry and actual sales? So I don't think that would be possible, but anyway, if you want to answer that.
No, given that our data comes only after registration is done, we wouldn't know inquiry to that. That would either be available with you or it will be available with your channel partner, but not with us right now, because ours is authentic data only after registration is done, because only after that it's a public document. Everything before that is private.
So some of you all have asked about contact details. Yes, post the session. And yeah, Abhishek, they had a request if we can share your presentation as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I will personally share it with Trupti,
yeah.
and she feel free to circulate that.
Post this webinar is over, the contact details and the presentation will be shared. Pricing, so some of you all have questions around pricing. We'll just come to that once the question answer is over.
Samir, there's a question by Mr. Sunil Nair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Probable changes in demand supply post-COVID. I'm assuming this question is related to housing. So, sir, I'll give you my view on real estate as a whole. I'll split that into 4 sectors: housing, commercial office, malls, and warehouses. I personally feel malls are going to see the toughest situation now, because, you know, Indians love cinema and cinemas will not open. And even if they do open, PVR and INOX will have to come up with 1 seat per 3 seats or 4 seats to allow this distancing. So the cinemas are going to be tough. And if cinemas don't get full, malls will not see the footfall. Second, offices will come down from its 50 million square feet of leasing last year to probably half or around similar to what we saw in 2009. So that's going to be a tough one as well, but not as bad as malls. Warehousing and housing are only going to be the 2 silver lining for post-COVID demand supply. And let me explain. When I say housing, that's the only cash cow. Housing is one sector where you launch today and start generating cash from a developer perspective today. And my sense is, whether it's a 90-10 scheme, whether it's a bit of price cuts, whether it's a drop in land prices, whether it's a drop in stamp duty, or a combination of everything, housing is going to be the only sector which will help resurrect real estate. And that's my very, very strong opinion, which is why we're spending a lot of time and energy writing reports on housing, helping our developer friends understand housing sector better.
Great. So Pranav Mehta had a question. So the pricing that you've mentioned on the platform, what all does it include? Does it include car parks, clubhouse, PLC? I'm assuming it's the agreement value, and then
that is absolutely correct. It's the index to agreement value. Now, if the gentleman or Mr. Developer has included an infra cost in it or a car park as a inside it, then it will be inclusive of that. If it is not, then we will have access to the index 2 as well, because, you know, there could be dry balcony, there could be a full-fledged balcony. All those will be explicitly written. But yes, to answer this question, on a general basis, it is the index 2 overall pricing of the apartment.
Amit Gala had a question. So what data would be most helpful from a broker's perspective? Partners, and how do you address that?
So we do have broker friends as clients. We have CBRE, we have Sotheby's, we have Knight Frank. We have a lot of local brokers who deal in commercial real estate leasing or pre-leased property sales or even housing. I think one of their favorite things that they love about is to be able to do a transaction. If they can sit across the table, help the landlord and the tenant agree on a certain price and not get into an ego hassle and help close a deal, I think that is the biggest benefit for a broker. The detailing in terms of pricing, who's leasing, whose leases are expiring. So if a broker gets to know at a building level or at a chamber level whose leases are expiring in the next 6 months, that is fantastic lead for him. He doesn't have to go and knock on every door. He can just walk on those doors where leases are expiring in the next 6 months or 3 months. And I can give you another 5 examples, but these are the top examples where brokers can truly benefit from the platform.
a few questions from the chat. Is your data on carpet area?
Yeah, we give it on both. Given that RERA is the new normal, and another 2 or 3 years from now, it will all be RERA carpet area. But given that now the older projects are still getting completed, there are developers who are still registering on what we call is the MOFA or the index 2 numbers. So we are now giving you both. At some point where normalcy comes in and consistency creeps in terms of RERA, we will completely move to RERA carpet only. But as of now, it's both.
Okay. So one question I had was, so you spoke about it briefly, but if you can give a little more details on how developers have used the platform for lead generation. You spoke about Kanakya, but if there are any other examples of ways of generating leads from the platform.
See, okay, so let me step back a little. I'm not giving you the name of the buyer. I'm not giving you his contact number. I don't have that because that's not written in the document. But what I'm definitely giving you is where does he stay? And not only at a individual unit level, but also at a micro market level. So it not only gives you lead generation to be able to sell your particular unit, but it also gives you a clear idea that where should you do your marketing and budgeting and all that perspective at a micro market to a project to a unit level. But lead generation at the end, what is called the last mile has to be still walked by either your sales guy or your channel partner. So we can help you reach there. We can help you reach 80%, but the last 20% will have to be done by you.
Understood. One question is from Prabodh Vazarkar. Is the access currently only to the micro markets that you mentioned? And if it is there any scope of it coming out of, so how do you access this platform for non-metro cities?
Wow. So the cities we cover, I mentioned earlier, so every micro market in that city, whether it's all the way from Churchgate to there, or even a Palghar, or even a Panvel, Raigad, we've covered the entire MMR and Pune. If you want Nasik, if you're relating to Nasik and a Nagpur and a Solapur and a Kolhapur, we'll have to do it bespoke for you. Delighted to do it. Happy to take that offline.
Sorry,
Samir, next.
I think there's a lag in my thing. Sorry, what was the last sentence that you said?
No, I'm saying that if there is any question or somebody wishes to cover a Nasik or a Nagpur or a Solapur, Kolhapur, Aurangabad, we are very, very happy to do that offline as a B assignment. It's not ready on the platform yet.
Okay. Ankit has a question. Is there a different portal for the financial details as an interest mortgage? Is this part of one thing, or are there different solutions with different buckets? How does that happen?
Yeah, to keep it extremely modular, yes, they are different products, they are different buckets. And let me take this question to the next step. Even you can even subscribe to only Chembur. You don't have to subscribe to entire Bombay. You could be a Chembur specialist developer. So we're even happy to make it modular and only allow you to subscribe to Chembur micro market. You don't have to take Bombay City. So since it's technology, since it's online, cloud-based, you can cater it exactly the way you want it. And yes, my apologies, because of lack of time, I wasn't able to show the loans product, but the loans product is a separate product. Very, very happy to show it to you separately offline.
So one anonymous attendee had a question about, is Chembur a good area for purchasing a 2 BHK? But maybe we could share a link to some of the research reports that you all do for each micro market, and that probably gives them a better idea of what to sort of understand.
So that doesn't sound like a developer question. And with all the developers here I'm risking myself by answering this. I think it's a great time to buy. Yes, developers, I feel, will be a little humbled with the situation, and depending on how leveraged and who's not so leveraged, or who's at what level of completion, I think we'll be happy to sit across the table and give you a good deal. So I still feel residential, as I mentioned earlier, is the way to go from a consumer and a developer perspective. Samir, there are some more questions as well. Maybe I can read them out.
Yeah, sure.
How many months will it take to gain customer confidence to buy flats? Oh my God, that's a crystal ball gazing. I don't think even Modin has this answer, or I have this answer. My sense is deals will start immediately as soon as people start feeling comfortable going out of their house and visiting apartments or visiting developer sites or show flats. So that's definitely a few months away. Yes, we are unfortunately entering the worst season, which is the monsoon season, which tends to be a little slow for real estate anyways. But I think we'll still have a good Ganpati. I think Ganesh will bring in some good surprises for us.
Great. Sorry, I went offline. Something went wrong.
No, so I took your role and started reading the questions myself.
Great. Any more questions left?
Yes, there are a few. Can we know what schemes? Can we know what schemes are successful for different projects? Oh, we don't have access to that information. We would only have it offline when we speak to our developer friends and developer clients. I don't think those schemes are back in a hurry, but I personally feel they will be. I've heard a few. CLPs obviously is the mother of all schemes. That is a very standard scheme. But yes, I personally feel subventions will be back, and banks will allow developers to come up with some creative financial models. So yes, I feel that will be back. What do you mean by micro market share? I think you're referring to that chart where I said 15 micro markets represent 60% of the market. Let me explain. The total number of inventory that has been launched in Mumbai city is about 3 lakhs. And between those 15 micro markets, they represented 60% of that, which is a good 1,80,000. So that's what I meant by market share. 60% of all inventory launched in Mumbai city sits in those 15 micro markets. So that's where all the action is. That's where the brokers should be. That's where the developers should be, because that's where the buyers are. That's where they're buying.
Great. We'll probably take another couple more questions.
Then Samir, you read them.
I can't read anything. I was out, so.
Oh, you were okay. I can do that. I can do that. Can you give? Sure. It's money come again. Can you give an analysis of sale between completed projects and under construction? Oh, absolutely, yes, sir. I'm going to, if I can get your number, I will personally share with you our Pune report. Please brace yourself. Monday morning, we're going to have a Mumbai report which differentiates Mumbai into 4 quadrants. Quadrant number 1, what's launched and unsold. Quadrant number 2, launched and sold. Quadrant number 3, OC received and unsold, and OC received and sold. Absolutely, yes. Please wait for Monday. We're going to have a report on Mumbai city. The same details can be done at a Panvel level, Chembur level, any level you want.
Great.
A fee structure, I would suggest we do that maybe a little later, or maybe Samyak has a few words on that. But last question from my side: how much time does it take a client to take a close look at a deal as per the micro and high end product? I'm sorry, I didn't understand this question. I'm going to take the next one though. How can I market a project in Bengaluru being in Bhubaneswar using your platform? Oh, we have all the data on Bangalore. You could be any part of the city, any part of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir, and you can access our platform for the top 7 metro cities. Very happy to share that we are looking at Bhubaneswar as well, because we've been approached by a couple of clients to look at Bhubaneswar. So we might come to your city as well.
Great. Just one more thing. So specifically for MCHI CREDAI members, we've been able to convince Abhishek to allow any of the MCHI members for a pilot, for a minimum period pilot of the product. And post the pilot, if they go through, there is a special scheme of sort of commercials as well. So I would highly encourage all of you all to at least take the benefit of the pilot. And I'm sure you will find a lot of benefits in the platform.
Just Samyak,
Sorry,
sorry.
yeah.
Samyak, what you mean by pilot is basically a 3-day free access to our platform,
Exactly.
so that you can get used to it. And of course, we'll be delighted to give you a one-on-one demo, because I had about 20 minutes and it really went fast. And sorry about the delay and that lag which was there. Very, very happy. Me and my team will not only walk you through the platform again, but also happy to give you a 3-day free look period so that you can get comfort with what you want to see and then decide whether you want to take the subscription or not.
So the Resi platform with Abhishek, we actually did a Zoom call. Well, and on top of that, if you want that 3-day free pilot where you can play with the system yourself and get used to it, that's also available exclusively to CREDAI MCHI members. And obviously, we will be sharing the presentation details with all of you all very soon. I mean, right when we are done with the webinar. That's it from our side. Abhishek, any last words from you?
So I want to thank each and all who came to listen to me. I hope I was able to address most of the questions. And I promise if there's anything left, please just pick up the phone and call me once you have my number. And a big thank you to CREDAI Youth Wing, Samyak, of course, Yash, and Trupti, MCHI. So thank you very much for allowing us this opportunity to help our developer friends sell better in these tough times.
Great. Just a quick vote of thanks from me. So first of all, our chairman of our MCHI Youth Wing, Mr. Dhaval Ajmera, he's been very supportive of everything the Youth Wing has done. Dhaval Bhai, Yash also for helping with the arrangement of this session, and also the MCHI team, Charmi, and everyone else involved, Trupti. Thanks a lot, and we hope that we can keep doing these sessions so that there is more knowledge sharing within our members. Thanks a lot.